An Eastern Enlightenment-Health-Medical Guide. Chapter 1. The Eastern Approach to Life. Eastern Enlightenment Info. Through all the books I scanned on Eastern Enlightenment, such as an Eastern Religion Encyclopedia and the Book of Enlightened Masters, Western Teachers in Eastern Traditions by Andrew Rawlinson, my conclusion is that it's highly westernized by now, complete with many different groups and sects who have as many different philosophies as you can think of, and their motives are many, from true compassionate acts for humanity to the selfish, carnal types. After all, they're all just humans creating these ideals on their own. The common threads that I found that were universal to many of them are as follows. You must empty yourself of all needs, cravings, and attachments in the world and give up your ego in service of the greater good, which is the Godhead that lives inside of you in your soul. Empty your mind of all its personal thoughts of individual specialness and try to be as objective as though you are the embodiment of the Creator/God/Universal Life Force channeling His light and radiance through you. Live in a state of godliness, which is to live in a state of loving consciousness and timeless energy. Life is a process of suffering everywhere, which is why you must be compassionate to all living beings. Love is the key to life. Life is a balance of four energies: physical, emotional, intellectual, spiritual. Live with purity of soul and the discipline to stay pure. Live via a state of inner calmness and spiritual flow. Consciousness is your only awareness. Use it to find yourself, through which you can find God. Release the inner radiance within you onto the world. There are two main streams of Chinese philosophy: Confucianism with an emphasis on extroversion, an active life, being a part of the greater social order and loving it, conformity, while Taoism, the way, is a more reflective, individual, solitary, nonconformist, free-spirited perspective. Lao Tzu formulated Taoism in response to the deplorable conditions of his day around 500 BC. The feudal lords were robbing the peasant farmers with high taxes, so Lao simply said, go your own way, don't listen to them, formulate your own life, live by your own standards. Tao means the law of nature, things living in harmony with themselves. Follow the natural path of your inherent life force, your soul. The purpose of life for man according to Lao is the cultivation of virtue, hence the way or virtue, the perfection of one's personality, to reach for virtue in life. Virtue is generally defined to be moral goodness, deep love, frugality, humility, courage, kindness, gentleness, love of home, earth, humanity, and what is true in our hearts. A virtuous person is a leader among men. It's to live by the good nature in your soul and treat life with goodness, even bad things and bad people. It's basically the embodiment of the Christian golden rule: treat others how you want to be treated. Negative attributes are weakness, ignorance, complacency, and conformity. Try to avoid the extreme, extravagant, and the excessive. Taoism is a doctrine of simplicity. Seek only good knowledge and the fulfillment of only good desires, not excessive, extravagant ones. In essence, Tzu lived in a primitive time where his people were oppressed, so he suggested living a free life closer to nature, away from the bondage of the feudal lords who controlled society. Some of his writings seem convoluted and contradictory, but you have to take them in the context of that far-off ancient society he lived in. Lao had some good enlightened ideas for his times, but in some things he seemed to be way off the extreme utopian end, like the renunciation of society to live a simple life in communion with nature. Beyond Eden, it also kind of reminds of the community of the few enlightened people at the end of Ayn Rand's novel Atlas Shrugged, who go off and live their own lives by themselves as a group of like-minded friends sharing their lives together. Enlightenment starts with self-awareness. All the world's religions lead to the same path: to strive for goodness, compassion, and love for others. People cannot righteously divorce themselves from their souls regardless of whether they're religious or not. They must find it, access it, and use it for the good of the world. The path of life is the path of love, consciousness, and personal transformation, all achieved with humility and quiet strength. There are some things beyond our control, like natural disasters, but many problems are man-made, caused by the wrong mental attitude. These can be changed if we desire to work on them. People who bicker and fight because of differing ideologies, either political or religious, are fools because all life should lead to the same path of love and goodness regardless of ideology. Everyone has the right to pursue happiness and get rid of suffering, but it should not be pursued in a selfish way at the expense of others. People with the strongest souls and the most insight are typically those scarred by life who have come through their crises by developing courage and inner strength. Nirvana is like karma. Karma is the atmosphere you create in life by your actions. If you act well, good will come to you. If you act badly, bad will befall you. If you lead a good life with honesty, love, compassion, and little selfishness, it will automatically lead to nirvana. You will be happy within yourself, others will see it, and good things will come to you. Nirvana is peace. The mind is its own place, therefore you must focus on keeping a good attitude. Negative emotions like anger, hate, pride, competition, jealousy, revenge, etc. are out. You must eliminate them from your consciousness. Meditate on it if you have to. It's all related to the body. A strong mind will contribute to a healthy body and vice versa. Have a good heart. You can develop a pure body, mind, and soul by getting rid of all impure things and becoming enlightened, compassionate and loving. The 5 maxims of Eastern self-defense are peace, sincerity, etiquette, wisdom, and courage. Self-defense books have some good philosophy in them. Find them at number 796.81 at your library. You can find many books on Eastern thought at number 294 of your library. Eastern philosophy as old-fashioned common sense. In general, most Eastern philosophies are very similar to old-fashioned, down-home common sense about life, like when you look in the mirror, what you see is the hope for the world staring back at you. The greatest disease is to be nobody to anybody. The purpose of life is to make the future better. Each of us has a moral responsibility to achieve this end. Love your brother as you love yourself. Have reverence for all creatures. Take only what you need. If you have more than that, give it away. Traditional Eastern medicine. Almost every country in Asia has its own brand of Eastern medicine. Ayurveda, India. Traditional Chinese medicine / TCM. Traditional Japanese medicine. Traditional Korean medicine. Traditional Mongolian medicine. Traditional Tibetan medicine. Most use 3 components. Acupuncture. Herbal therapy. Massage. Tuina is a traditional Chinese medicine massage to release blockages in the acupuncture meridians. The holistic way is that life exists on a mind, body, and soul continuum. When people are strong and in harmony with each other, you're healthy and vital. When they're weak and tired, you're sick. A positive mind equals healing and strength, a negative mind equals illness and even death in some cases. Nature's bounty is often as good for us, if not better, than prescription drugs. Nature's food is better than processed food. You will become what you think and what you do. The highest order of life is to live for beauty, love the earth and your fellow man, and thank God for this gift He has given us. When you die, it's just your body moving onto a higher plane. Accept it calmly. Look for books about acupuncture, Taoism, Qigong, Tai Chi, and I Ching, the Chinese philosophy of living by the natural flow within. Try number 610.951 and number 615.5 or P601 and R603 at the library. Qigong / Qigong info. The Tao has 3 treasures. Hold and keep them always. The first is universal love. The next is not to be wasteful. The third is humility. Lao Tzu, Tao Te Ching. Taoism / flow / wu wei / intuition is effortless effort. Around 600 BC, Lao Tzu founded Tao as expressed through his book Tao Te Ching, Book of Living by the Laws of Nature, the belief that life is action with a contemplative state of mind where learning and wisdom should lead to peace and contentment, a detachment from an excessive desire for material things or for the things of the world. His famous quote was, "Manifest plainness. Embrace simplicity. Reduce selfishness. Have few desires." He believed in the spirit of life over philosophical rules. Taoism is an early philosophy developed in China with the ideals of living a full life happily and freely. It's based on the concept of I Ching, which is to unite both the yin and yang within yourself, to be androgynous and unite with your partner such that your yin-yang as a couple, male and female essences, come together to form a happy glorious whole. The major concept is not to look at life nor the world as neatly defined categories like either good or bad. Rather look at it as a flow with everything happening together without clear borders. The truth is that there are no absolute good or bad people or absolute personality characteristics, because we always live in a flow of the good and bad, the extrovert, introverted, the strong and weak within ourselves together side by side, so we shouldn't try to fragment our lives and separate our so-called good side from the bad, rather we should live them out both together as we feel them and experience them. In nature, the mountains, the trees, the oceans don't live as isolated entities. They're all interrelated and interactive, which is the way you are as a unit and the way you are with the world. An offshoot of Taoism, Feng Shui, is the art of positioning the things in your environment, usually the furniture and things in your house or office, such that the space maintains its righteous integrity of the flow of life passing through it. Your body is a unit of flowing energy. When the natural rhythmn is blocked, the qi flow is disrupted and you get sick. You have to keep qi moving, get your balance back through movement and deep breathing in order to live a happy, healthy life. The way you see the world and what you project onto it is really the way you feel inside. If you're a critic, always putting down something in the world, it means that you're miserable about your life, because all you're doing is projecting your true feelings onto an external thing, often without realizing it, but it's generally true. The way you treat other people and the world in general is the way you really are underneath your blinders and delusions. The soul of Taoism is to be present in the moment without delusions, live joyfully, free in spirit, and you'll create your own luck, the luck that lives inside of you when you live by flow. Combine health, vigor, and youthful looks with the wisdom of life's experience. Enjoy your life. Who you are on the inside and how you project it onto the world always comes right back to you by the law of karma and the general law of life. You reap what you sow. Everything comes down to balance, to know when you're not living in harmony with yourself, and to experiment with life to find out what it takes to reach your particular sense of centered balance, and do it constantly day after day to stay there forever. Find your flow and live by it. Your life flow should be more like music than discrete adjectives with performance objectives and an agenda of things to do. Relax, enjoy your life, don't compartmentalize it, live it all as one big flow of beauty, peace, and love of whatever you like in the world. The purpose of life is to merge into one unified flow of self-acceptance, self-love, love of the world, love of life, and pass it on to whoever you feel inclined to share it with. Develop the ability to live like this in the midst of your worst, most stressful tragedies, and you win the game of life. Be an optimist who believes in the unlimited power of human potential. The three treasures of Taoism are Qing, sexual and physical energy; Qi, breath and vital energy; Shen, spiritual and mental energy. The intent is to live a balanced life freely and calmly, to be a positive force both to yourself and to the world at large. Qigong, the breathing part of Taoism, is an ancient form of Chinese medicine which focuses on the fundamental life force that permeates all things. It is like acupuncture in that it unblocks and revitalizes the energy meridians of the body. Qi is the fundamental life force that permeates all things. Qi connects and animates everything in the universe. When the flow of qi is impaired, we have a disease. When it flows easily, we have perfect health. Qigong is the technique of using breath, exercise, mind, and meditation to purify, strengthen and circulate the blood and qi. Calmness in a self-disciplined mind is the vital force of Qigong. Imbalances come from environmental, physical, chemical, biological, and psychological forces. One must watch all those bad forces in order to keep the inner strength high. This healing art also makes use of herbal remedies. Some practitioners have put together specific formulas for diseases like AIDS, cancer, allergies, etc. Qigong is the precursor from which the martial arts evolved. Exercise or movement frees the mind from all thoughts except those at hand. It forces the mind to focus on the motion, hence, the person is controlling breathing and movement with a form of meditation, so it is a very soothing and centering thing if done properly. Whereas we in the West might go to a gym at lunch hour, I've seen groups of all different kinds of people in China, i.e. young, old, men, women all gathered together at parks to go through a Qigong routine sometimes called Tai Chi. It's very basic and not strenuous by Western standards. The movements are simple stretching, bending and twisting motions culminating with both air punches and jumping jacks, and that's it. In martial arts, they're called forms. In Qigong, it's like a dance, they move around in fluid motion balancing themselves. The philosophy of Qigong is to do good to help those in need, gather the Qi of different areas so you can understand the world and become a better master, and you must pass on what you have learned, and in doing so, make friends as you go along. I found a few books on Taoism at number 128 of the library, or BD 431, and a book on Taoist love at number 612.6. You might find books about Qigong at number 613.71 or number 615.82 at the library. learningstrategies.com/qigong/healingpower.asp healingtaousa.com qi-journal.com eastwestqi.com nqa.org, National Qigong Association qigong-chikung.com qigonginstitute.org Tantra Philosophy Info. What is the quality of your inner life? How do you feel all the minutes of every day? Are you free from society's indoctrinating bullshit? Tantra is a Hindu discipline emphasizing the pursuit of Shakti/divine power as the path to eternal happiness and bliss. The word Tantra originates in Hindu Sanskrit. It means to extend, expand, and bring together. Tantra is a path to enlightenment, sometimes called the science of ecstasy. It focuses on the relationship that exists between lovers in life and during lovemaking. In Tantra, the quality of inner life is important. This encompasses these qualities: inner stillness free from random mind chatter, inner peace free from capitalist ambition, inner harmony free from problems with people. Have joy in every moment of life. Tantra is the path to inner joy through awareness of the physical world. We can feel continuous joy and bliss by living by our true natures. God created you. Be true to Him by living by your true nature. Live in the now. Drop your goals, expectations, and agendas which shift your attention from the now to the future. Accept yourself fully and grow from there. Seek your inner core of truth centered in your heart. When you follow your true desires with full consciousness, you're doing the right thing. There is no evil in your intentions. Sex is viewed as a sacred energy. The sexual orgasm is seen as a divine experience. The rule is to be playful, sacred, spiritual, and aesthetic all at the same time. Don't focus on intercourse, just having a good time together. Think of lovemaking as mutual meditation, the two lovers flowing together in love and pleasure. Focus on slow sensual touching and massage. The idea of the male multiple orgasm first started with the Tantra ideology. The term karitsa refers to the man's ability to prolong sex by having orgasms without ejaculation. It is accomplished through meditation and practice. Tantra is a way of life, a path to enlightenment thing, where you find your own spiritual power within yourself coming from the natural flow of universal law and release it in your own way out into the cosmos to unite with this natural flow of life. Tantra means to expand wisdom, the goal being to expand it enough to reach a transcendent, enlightened, inspired state where you're energetic, happy, and spiritually flowing all the time. Sex, love, and pleasure are all part of this flow, that you strive to live a wise, intellectual, analytical life and supplement it with the pursuit of the pleasure you naturally feel inside of you. In short, live out your spiritual, sexual, and intellectual self as full and vigorous as possible. The challenge is to go beyond the conventional to strive to reach the pure, noble things that reside within you. Tantric people throughout history were typically nonconformist who didn't necessarily buy into the culture around them and lived by what they felt inside instead. It's a celebration of the exploration and experience of life. They strive to be kind, cheerful and benevolent while living according to their inner standards. According to Tantric philosophy, we're all stuck with our bodies, we'll have pain and pleasure from them. We can learn from the pain and relish in the pleasure it brings us. The idea is to surrender to life whatever happens, both the painful and the pleasurable, because it's all part of the human experience. When you surrender, you can ride the feelings more peacefully than if you struggle against them. Tantric means a test to extend oneself ultimately to the divine or transcendent. Tantric love is to extend the passion of lovemaking. Guys have a wand of light/lingam, girls have a sacred space, a yoni. The union is sacred pleasure, not strictly sexual but a sharing of life essences. Sex is sacred, going back to the essence of your soul and expressing it through romantic action. We're born from sex, we are sex, so partake unashamedly. Enjoy sex fully because it's life. Think spiritual sex beyond your sex organs to encompass the mind and soul. Tantrics are big on sharing the male and female essences like the gods Shiva and Shakti, Krishna and Radha, even going so far as to suggest that sex during menstruation is good because it unites the two bodily fluids, the menstrual blood and the semen. It's about the love bliss of the divine union between a man and a woman, his power and her softness. It's a state of enjoyment accompanied by a return to spontaneity. The basic tenets of Tantric philosophy, which are the keys to happiness, are: to reduce suffering, pursue transcendence, radiance, freedom and pleasure. Believe in yourself, pursue your version of truth. Be a good person morally. Keep a stable, single state of self without going all over the place. Move towards wholeness, maturity, self-knowledge, good-heartedness and the discovery of your true natural potential. Let go of everything, all material possessions, in order to follow the flow of life. Find the mystical, creative realm within yourself and use it for your own good and that of society. You might find a book or two on Tantra philosophy at number 294.5 or BL 128.3 to BL 624 at the library. artofliving.org. sourcetantra.com. innertraditions.com, 800-246-8648. lovewithoutlimits.com, 415-507-1739, workshops on spiritual sexuality, San Rafael, CA. Shambhala.com. tantra.org. tantra-sex.com. Chapter 2. Some Eastern Medicine Traditions. Traditional Japanese Medicine / Josen Tehotu. Traditional Japanese medicine doesn't have the popularity that traditional Chinese medicine does. It's considered a clone of TCM, but there are some differences. TJM is derived from Shintoism, an ancient form of nature and ancestor worship, worshipping the spirits of nature and ancestors. Disease comes from disharmony, an impure, improper lifestyle, eating bad foods. They use Qi, the life energy. They do 4 types of diagnosis on a patient: palpation / setsushin, observation / boshin, listening and smelling / bunshin, questioning / mundashin. Restore balance through acupuncture, moxibustion, warming therapy kind of like aromatherapy, herbs, massage, hydrotherapy, diet, zen, and prayer. Kampo is a traditional Japanese herbal holistic approach to healing. JAAF.org, Japanese American Acupuncture Foundation. Japanese is Hiatsu and Holistic Medicine Society of Canada.ca. Shiatsu.org, Japanese Massage. SHIATSU-INTERNATIONAL.org. ZEN-SHIATSU-SOCIETY.co.uk. Kampo in Japan. Kampo is a traditional Japanese herbal holistic approach to healing. Kampo is based on traditional Chinese medicine but adapted to Japanese culture. The Japanese people trust so much that the government pays for it as part of medical treatments in their socialized medical system. en.wikipedia.org/wiki/herb_Chinese-Japanese_common_herbs right parenthesis. en.wikipedia.org/wiki/Kampo en.wikipedia.org/wiki/campo_herb_list. Hanzo.com. hansuza.com/campo. winbuyer.com, nutrition and personal care campo. Traditional Korean medicine websites. koma.or.kr, traditional medicine Korean. koreanmedicine.net. koreanmedicine.org/English. sihorakdang.com, herb clinic, Gyeongju. komaul.co.kr, herb clinic, Gyeongju. en.wikipedia.org/wiki/traditional_Korean_medicine. experiencefestival.com/traditional_Korean_medicine. herbmart.or.kr, Daegu. inzamfestival.co.kr, Herbs Festival, Gyeumsan. wikia.com/wiki/traditional_Korean_medicine. Traditional Thai massage and herbal medicine. Traditional Thai medical theory is similar to India's Ayurvedic healing traditions and traditional Chinese medicine. The medical philosophy is based on two ancient texts from the Ayutthaya era. The Scripture of Diseases. The Pharmacopoeia of King Nare. Medical practitioners diagnose patients in a holistic way by evaluating the pulse, heartbeat, skin color, body temperature, bodily excretions, and the general, overall look of the person. They use three major treatment methods. Massage. The idea is to balance the four body elements. Earth, solid parts of the body like the skeleton, muscles, tendons, and ligaments. Water, blood and bodily secretions. Fire, digestion and metabolism. Air, breathing and circulation. Most therapeutic massages are performed by monks at temples, which are also called wats. They do the massage to connect with the nerve meridians as with acupuncture and acupressure. Herbal remedies. There are herbs sold at traditional medicine shops and at some modern drug stores. Inner healing. This is the mental spiritual aspect of thinking positive thoughts and meditating to heal oneself. Thai massage and medicine websites. thaiherbalmedicine.blogspot.com, Association of Traditional Thai Massage and Herbal Medicine. taomountain.net, Directory of Authentic Schools of Thai Massage and Herbal Medicine. shivago.org, Shivago Association of Traditional Thai Massage and Herbal Medicine. 1thaimassage.com, Thai Massage School of Thailand. asian-villa.net/eng.htm, Ancient Traditional Thai Massage Institute, sits above a traditional Thai herbal medicine shop. byronthaimassage.com, Byron Thai Massage School. en.wikipedia.org/wiki/Thai_massage. thaimassage.com. thaimassage.com. thai-massage.org. thaimassagana.com. thaimassagebangkok.com. thaimassageschool.ac.th. thaitherapy.com. traditionalthaimassage.ca. traditionalthaimassage.com. traditionalthaimassage.org. traditionaltiagamassage.com/thai.massage.htm. Traditional Tibet medicine. Tibetan medicine borrows from Buddhism. The idea is that attachments to things causes illness. They have three body types. Lung/wind. Tripa/bile. Pekin/phlegm. There's the usual diet, herbs, meditation, and karma. Kam Nai are poses and breathing exercises. Tibetan massage involves oil massage and pressure to points on the body. tibetmed.org. tibet-foundation.org, London. men-tsee-khang.org, Tibetan Medical and Astrological Institute. swiss-inter.com/padma28e.htm, Tibetan Herbs. tibetanherbalhealing.com, Boston, Ma. tibetanherbalmedicine.com. tibetanherbs.com. dharma-haven.org/tibetan/medicine.htm. Asia Traditional Medicine websites. aaom.org, 888-500-7999. Acupuncture.com. Acupuncturealliance.org. Acupuncturespot.com.